Welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Serpent. And if you do enjoy the videos, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Serpents. Ripple will lose against the SEC. 4.1 billion XRP tokens moved from Bittrex in 1 hour. 760 billion SHIB on the move. Ooh, that is a lot to take in. Let's break it down. Let's see what's going on, what is happening, and how these particular statements have come out. And we will talk about what if, by some miracle, SEC were to win. What would that look like? What would happen? Now, Gene Hoffman, in a recent tweet, said that, it's the chief operating officer of a blockchain company called Chia Network, and the SEC will defeat Ripple fintech giant in a long-running lawsuit. Hoffman believes that the only outcome all XRP supporters can expect is that a federal judge will rule that Ripple's sales of XRP made XRP a security. And the federal judge says Hoffman realized that most people purchase XRP in the hope that the number would go up. Therefore, it is unlikely that Ripple and its supporters' arguments about the alleged utility of the cryptocurrency would succeed. Look, the great thing about the internet is that we have access to information. The bad thing about the internet is that everyone is allowed to just go out publicly and make statements. I'm going to show you another one that occurred, which is even worse than all of these ones put together. Now, first things first, what is the SEC's job? Now, the SEC's job is to protect consumers. Now, please, somebody tell me how anybody from that office can look me in the eye and tell me that that is exactly what they do day in, day out, because they are as corrupt as they come. Have a listen to this. Have a listen.
And finally, I want to point out that the SEC has been badgered in this room for the 26 years I've been here for not getting their job done. Thank God they're working hard, they're getting their job done. And I will now recognize Ms. Wagner.
I thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have been, along with many others, very troubled that the SEC is deviating from its core mission of protecting investors and facilitating capital formation. It's as simple as that. In fact, I too sent a letter last Monday to Chair Gensler expressing my concerns with this proposed rule to reform U.S. equity market structures. This soon-to-be proposed rule appears to have been hastily developed without any empirical evidence that there is a problem with the current quality of U.S. equity markets for retail investors. At a time when our equity markets remain the deepest, the most liquid in the world, and provide retail investors with historically high access to low-cost investment opportunities, the SEC's recommendations will have a negative consequences on millions of mom-and-pop retail investors working to simply secure their financial future. And I'd like to enter, Mr. Chairman, this letter into the record. And I
Without objection, so ordered.
look so forward to finally questioning Chair Gensler on this matter next Congress. It is long overdue. I am further concerned that the SEC is attempting to implement a partisan policy agenda through additional government mandates. Mr. Vollmer, you touched on this some, but would requiring the SEC to establish mandatory disclosures on issues outside of its expertise and its mission.
Oh, Mrs. Wagner, preach. I love it. It does have its own agenda. It does make its rules as it seems like, as it wants. And I think it's really fascinating what is going on at the moment. Now, really interesting to hear from, people saying, XRP will lose. Look, I think, it's a settlement or a win for Ripple in Ripple's favor. There will be some compromise. So I'm not not blind to the fact that, there will be some compromise where SEC has to get a little bit of a win. What that looks like, I'm not entirely sure. But SEC are playing a very dangerous game. There could be countersuits. There could be other things that they're chased on in the future. They could be thrown out from having any authority over cryptocurrencies in the United States. So, I don't know, guys. I mean, you guys say that, XRP could lose. I think SEC has a lot more to lose than Ripple. Now, I'm not going to play this particular video for you because it does go for over 6 minutes. But go check it out on Yahoo Finance, where, Gary Gensler gets asked a couple of questions. Now, what I found really, really interesting about this is that LBRY tweeted this. And this is what happens when the media and the general public doesn't know what really goes down. This is what LBRY said, the thing that makes Gary Gensler an absolute psychopath is that he knows the forms required for a registered security cannot even be completed for public blockchains. It is literally impossible. Gensler knows this and he takes advantage that the media doesn't. Do you see what's going on here? Do you see what is going on here? The level of corruption right at the top. And is anyone else questioning why FTX isn't in jail just yet? Anyone else, any entrepreneur, any organization, company that did what they did, they'd be in jail. So why isn't FTX in jail yet? I mean, come on, guys, seriously. Now, we know what is going on with the SEC. I will keep you guys updated on what is happening. Here's something really interesting. JP Morgan joins forces with Ripple partner in the UAE. What this means for XRP price. Now, remember that these are the guys that made their own coin. These are the guys that, a while back said that Ripple was a con as well. Look, this is what happens in history. First, they hate it. Then they try and ban it. Then they adopt it. It's always the same cycle. And so if you can't beat them, join them. And this is exactly what is happening in the JP Morgan game. Look, bankers, banks, big whales, financial institutions, the elites are not going to go without having a piece of the pie in the crypto world. They just aren't. And so they're going to go where the money is. And the money will flow into the XRP blockchain. And so that's exactly where they're going. That's exactly what is happening. Now, what is going to happen to the price? I think we talk about price a little bit too much. We focus too much on the price. Focus on the partnerships and the things that are happening in the background. So once the case settles or wins, the price will take care of itself. So focus on what is happening on a day-to-day basis for the blockchain rather than the price. Now, when we talk about what is happening, is XRP on the brink of significant price movement and all of those things, right? I mean, it is important to understand that patience here is really, really critical. There was no settlement that happened in December, which means we are going all the way to March. Be ready for that. Be ready for that. That is the best advice I can give you. Now, XRP will become available for purchase by fiat in the UK and France. The ability to buy and sell XRP for fiat currencies will soon be available in France and the United Kingdom. This was announced by the official Twitter account of Xoom Wallet, which is implementing on and off-ramp solutions in the XRPL built app. Such functionality has recently become available to users in the Netherlands. That's cool. That is really, 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 really cool. Guys, it's going to get better and better and better. I just hope you stick around for the ride. I really, really, really genuinely do. And by the way, Ripple was the only company to be in the top 10 most valued US startups. Startup. They're not calling it, a company that's been around since, 10 years as a organization that is a well-oiled machine running. No. They're still calling it a startup, an infant. And because it is. It is. What's going to happen in the next 10 years for it is going to be incredible. Now, Ripple's general counsel makes convincing argument. Look, for me, it's a settlement or a win. It always has been. We're approaching 2 years and I still stand by my thoughts. It's a settlement or it's a win. And again, it's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Just giving you guys my thoughts, but that's how I see this playing out. Have a listen to this.
Sovereign or non-sovereign, some combination of the two, the future of banking, finance, and money itself is going to be digital. It is going to be token-based. It's going to be blockchain-based. The question is, just as I did at the CFTC, let's not sit back and let this innovation pass us by. Let's engage with it. Let's get the balance right between privacy and national stability and law enforcement.
Chris Giancarlo is the former chairman of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission and the
I think he's spot on. Like I think that's spot on, and I think that's exactly how it's going to go down in the banking world, and it's just a matter of time. And time we do have, ladies and gentlemen, time we do have. It's really, 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 really important to understand that now more than ever we need patience. It's going to take a little bit of time, but it's coming. Now, how do we see this play out? What is happening? How it's all going to go? Like I said, I do think that we're going to dip into the mid-20s before we go up, but I do see that playing out really, really, really well. So we're going to drop down, jump into those mid-20s, and then we're going to head up into what will be, the start of breaking previous all-time highs and all that. So it is really, really exciting from that point of view. But just remember that we will drop first before we go up. And again, that's just how I'm interpreting the charts. And it's based off a couple of different, for different fundamental reasons. But that jump is coming, and that jump will be significant. The third leg will be significant. The fourth one, we will drop there, and then we'll go up to wave 5. And I can't wait, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be super, super exciting. I hope you found this useful. If you do like what you see, then don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. As always, thank you. Look forward to see you on the next one.